Hey, Ben Jaworski here, and I just want to say thank you so much for those of you who have watched video number 1 and video number 2 of the Shoulder Mobility Masterclass series. This is video number 3, and today we are going to answer all of the questions that you've been asking over the last couple days. We're going to knock down all these objections that you've brought up, and most importantly, Gary is going to show you step by step how to unlock your shoulder restrictions. So I'm really excited for today. But first, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for everyone who's commented, who's left questions, who's said how excited they are about this program. I'm blown away by the feedback that we've gotten so far. So as you know, I set out on this journey to try to figure out exactly how to unlock shoulder performance. So what I did was I went out and I found experts in the space. We've already talked about this a little bit, but Coach Gary, who has a bachelor's degree in exercise science, he owns a performance center in downtown Baltimore, and he's also an incredible athlete. He joined the team along with Dr. CJ DePalma, who is a doctor of physical therapy, which is unbelievable in itself. But not only that, he's worked with the likes of Sam Briggs and several other games athletes, including the 2017 55 to 59 division champion Shannon Aiken. So needless to say, I've brought in some amazing people to help us figure out exactly how to unlock your shoulder performance. So to give you an idea of what this program is capable of producing, obviously I've unlocked my shoulder mobility, but more recently we've put several athletes through this Shoulder ROM Unlock training program, and the results have been pretty amazing. So here is a quick recap. This is something that you can expect if you truly apply the principles that I'm going to share with you in this video. This is what you can expect. So check out this athlete's video and you can see his journey from before Shoulder ROM to finally unlocking it and what that's done for him.
Before starting Shoulder ROM Unlocked, I had major pain in my shoulders. My mobility was struggling. I wasn't able to sleep through the night because of the pain that was in my shoulders. My arms would fall asleep. There's certain positions that I couldn't lay in because of just the pain and the agitation. Even in the gym, I'd realized that I did something to my shoulders because I was no longer able to do handstand push-ups because of the pain. Anytime I'd go into the front rack position or anything overhead, I get a sharp pain in my biceps. So I knew something was wrong, but I started doing Shoulder ROM Unlocked, and around the third week of the program, what I realized was that the pain that I had before was no longer there. Anytime I'd go into the front rack position, I didn't have any pain in my biceps anymore. I was able to sleep through the night. My arms weren't falling asleep. I could sleep in positions that I'd slept in my whole life. So yeah, all of that I contribute to Shoulder ROM Unlocked. What I love about it is it's anywhere from 12 minutes to 15 minutes with some simple movements that you get in and out of, that you can replicate all throughout the day, that goes with any sort of overhead movement or any sort of movement in CrossFit that you would use your shoulders for. So I'm super thankful for this program. It really has changed my life. It's definitely helped my shoulders in mobility and in pain that I had from before.
Man, I am so proud of him. Trace is an awesome person. He's a great human being, and he basically set out and said, I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to follow the programming. And because of his consistency, he is now able to sleep and work out pain-free, which is pretty incredible. So really quick, what I want to do is I want to address a lot of the questions and some of the objections that I've heard over the past few videos. So if you remember, in video number 2, I asked you about what is the #1 obstacle standing in your way. So let's talk about that. So probably the #1 most common objection or obstacle is lack of consistency. And this is huge. This is something that we preach all the time, and it's something we're really passionate about. If you don't have consistency, then you're not going to see long-lasting results. So chances are, if you've already done things in the past and you just haven't seen the results, it's probably because they haven't given you a way to stay consistent. Some people will watch a video on YouTube and they'll follow along, and maybe they'll feel good for that one day or that one workout, but it's not a long-term solution. So here at WODprep with the Shoulder ROM Unlock system, our goal is to give you a consistent training schedule every single day for 5 days a week. You can always do more. We try to get you to do 15 minutes, no more, of just some simple mobility drills where we talk about adding water to the clay, just like we mentioned in video number 2. We apply the MS2 system, and you're going to see all of that in practice here in a second when Gary walks you through it step by step. But #1, consistency is key, and that is totally true. So for those of you who said you're lacking consistency, don't worry, we have a solution for you. #2, a lot of people don't know what to do. That's also really important. If I just sit down and say, I'm going to spend 15 minutes doing mobility, that doesn't really mean anything. You have to know exactly which drills, which sets, how many reps, all of that needs to come together. So unless you're following a specific training program, or you've developed a plan, or you've had someone else make a plan for you, it's really hard to stay consistent if you don't know what to do. So I think those two things are kind of combined. And here at WODprep, that's why we try to hand it to you on a silver platter. We give you the exact steps with the exact reps and the exact drills. All you have to do is click play and follow along. The number 3 biggest obstacle, or most common obstacle that we found, was no time. People feel like they don't have enough time to dedicate to unlock their shoulder performance. They think it takes a really long time, 30, 40-minute sessions. I know some people follow ROMWOD, and I have nothing against them, but unfortunately, a lot of those workouts, you sit in front of a TV and you're just holding these positions for really long extended periods of time, and generally that doesn't really do too much to actually unlock for the long term your shoulder mobility. So here at WODprep, that's why we try to keep everything short, sweet, and simple, and we keep it effective. So really all you need is consistency, and on any given day when you do this, you don't need an hour. All you need is about 15 minutes to really unlock your shoulder mobility. And then number 4, this is probably the main one to wrap things up, is that they've tried everything in the past. Maybe you've tried ROMWOD, which is really kind of like lower mobility focus or lower body focus. Maybe you've tried following some of K-Star's videos on YouTube. All of these are potentially good options, but unfortunately, they're not specifically designed to unlock your shoulder mobility. And that's what's so cool about the Shoulder ROM system, is what we've developed here, what me, CJ, and Gary are working on to release to you, is the ultimate shoulder mobility program that is specifically designed to help you see results, and that's why we guarantee that it works. So I've covered these 4 issues, and now I'm gonna show you an example. So Coach Gary is going to take you step by step through one of the workouts pulled directly from our Shoulder ROM Unlocked program. So here's what you need. All you need is a PVC pipe, maybe some sort of jump band or resistance band that's pretty lightweight, and then a lacrosse ball. If you don't have any of those tools, that's totally fine. I still want you to sit down and watch this, and you can do the movements that the equipment allows you to do. So sit back, relax, follow along step by step, and let's see how much we can unlock your shoulders today.
All right, WODprep, welcome to day 23. Today what we have is our lacrosse ball. We have a PVC. Go ahead, grab a broomstick or a mop. If you don't have either of those, that's okay, you can do without. Then we have our TheraBand. It is attached to something that is about 4 head height. So we have for our banded overhead squats today. All right, first thing today we're gonna do is our trap smash. So it's just like the pec smash. You're gonna get inside the doorway, and then you're gonna hinge at the hips so we can add some pressure on that lacrosse ball. And then we're just gonna put that lacrosse ball pinned against the wall in between our upper trap and the wall. And then we're just gonna tear up our traps. So just think top of the shoulders right there, and you can just kind of go down into the front and down into the back and just tear up whatever is tender. There will be something that is very tender. So if you're ready, go ahead, get in position, hinge at the hips, get that lacrosse ball in between the traps and the wall. Let's begin. 1 minute. Going up and down. Tearing up that trap. Breathing. Remember, if you find something that is really tight, contract over top, relax, sink into it a little bit further. If you feel a lot of knots in your traps, make sure you get nice and hydrated. This spot tends to light up if we're a little bit dehydrated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's switch sides. Hinge halfway. Put that lacrosse ball in place in between the trap and the wall. And let's begin. 1 minute. Remember to breathe. Have that nice hip hinge so you can add some force into the wall. Remember, head is on the inside of the doorway. And just working in deeper and deeper into that trap. You have 20 seconds left. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, down into the ground, into our modified child's pose with our walking hands. Remember, with this child pose, we are gonna keep our hips high. So we sit back into that child's pose with the hips nice and high, and then our arms are nice and straight. We have a crunch in the core, and then we're gonna walk our hands side to side. So if we walk to the left, we feel the stretch intensify on the right side. So just think opposite side today. And then we'll walk our hands back over, all while breathing, and then feel the stretch intensify on the other side. Remember, in this child's pose, when we go down, we want to go into a nice crunch. If you do not feel the stretch run underneath the lat, that means we either need to get the hips higher or walk the hands out a little bit further. So if you're ready, follow along for 45 seconds. And let's begin. Get that core engaged, go into that crunch, and walk the hands to one side. And let's walk it over to the other side. Remember to stay breathing, engage the core, close the ribs down, back over to the other side. And one more walk across. And relax. All right, into our wall slides. So grab that PVC or that broomstick. Put that PVC up overhead, creating a nice 90-degree angle at the elbows. We have our tops of our hands in contact with our the wall, the elbow, and the back of the shoulder. As you can see, she maintains a nice flat lower back on the wall, so scoot yourself back and get that lower back nice and flat as you can. If you can't get all the way flat, that's okay. Just try to crunch the ribs down and see if you can get it a little bit flatter. So we will slide up with the PVC or broomstick in hand, only to the point where we feel like our hands or elbows or shoulders are about to come off the wall. So maintain those 3 points of contact the whole time. We're gonna do this for 45 seconds today. Get that PVC in place and begin. Sliding up and down at your own pace, only to the top of your head. If you do not have a broomstick or PVC, it's okay. Just use just your hands. Remember to breathe. This position can be rather restricting, so we want to really focus on that nice smooth breathing. Remember the 3 points of contact. Tops of the hands, elbows, and shoulders stay on the wall. 2, 1, relax. All right, next we're gonna go into our staggered Ys. Remember, for this position, we get a nice little staggered stance. Right foot is forward, about an inch off the wall, and then left foot is behind that right foot. Go ahead, get your forearms solidly on the wall. We slide up, create a Y. When we're in the Y, the elbow is off the wall, and then we peel our hands off by using our lower and middle traps in between our shoulder blades. Remember, we don't wanna use these bigger, over-dominant upper traps. Try to relax those and pinch between their shoulder blades when you peel the hands off the wall. You'll slide back down, forearms come back in contact with the wall. Remember, ribs down, tuck the tailbone, and then we slide back up. So if you're ready, go ahead and join us for 1 set of 8. Start parallel, and let's slide up for our first one, up to the Y, pinch off, squeeze in between those lower and middle traps. We only need about an inch. Let's go into rep 2, back down, back up, peel off. Relax these upper traps. Try not to use your upper traps. And 4. Back up for 5. 6. 7. And 8. All right, next we're gonna go into our banded overhead squats. Attach that TheraBand about forehead height. We get into that overhead squat position. Arms are up at a 45-degree angle, nice straight elbows, and then when we're pulling that TheraBand back, we try to use those lower middle traps, not our upper dominant traps. So we go into that overhead squat, maintain lumbar curve in that squat, and we try to keep those arms in line with our ear as best as we can. If they're a little bit forward, that's okay. So we're gonna do 2 sets of 8 here. Follow along. Get into your overhead squat position, and let's begin. Down for 1, 2, 3, every time at the top, butt tight, ribs down. 4, 5, 6, maintain straight elbows. 7, and 8. Beautiful. Shake it out for a second. Remember, at the top of your squat, get the butt tight, get the core tight, ribs down before each rep. Grab that band. Back to that overhead squat position. Thumbs pointing back. Elbow straight. Upper traps down. Let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That concludes day 23. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, so as you can see, it doesn't take much time. I mean, how simple was that? That's only a 10-minute little workout that you can add on either in the beginning of your day as like a morning routine or right before your daily workout, or you can even do it. A lot of people, a lot of our athletes have done it right before they go to bed. It's so simple. All you have to do is sit back, press play, and follow along. There's no guessing games, there's no questions, there's no pressing pause during the video to try to figure out exactly how to do stuff. You just watch Gary get to work and he shows you exactly what you need to be doing. So it's pretty awesome, and I hope that you enjoyed that, and I hope that you could spot the MS2 system at play. We worked on remolding the shoulders and telling it where to move, and then we added some stability work at the end, and in just 10 minutes we were able to take one step in the right direction. So I want you to answer this question for me, and I know I can't hear you on the other side of the camera, but what if you were able to get workouts like that every single day that you could do either in the beginning, the middle, or the end of your day? It only takes 10 to 15 minutes at a time, and every single time you complete one of those workouts, you are taking a step in the right direction to truly unlocking your shoulder performance. How powerful would that be? Well, really quick, I just want to show you another example of what can happen if you stick to a program like this.
Hi, I'm Amanda, and I have poor shoulder mobility, or at least I did before shoulder ROM. I had any shoulder problem you can imagine. My posture was horrible, and even worse than that, that bad posture and poor mobility translated into awful workouts. So anything that was overhead or involved a little bit of shoulder range of motion was just a real struggle for me. And I was working on my mobility, but I wasn't consistent, at least not as consistent like I needed to be. So when Ben came to me and said he was offering a new class on shoulder mobility, I knew I had to sign up. And I am so glad I did. It was an amazing experience. The classes were fantastic. I can't say enough good things about them. Not only were they a great way to spend 10 or 15 minutes of my time, they had a ton of variety, really straightforward instruction and no fluffy waste of time. You pretty much started the video, they told you exactly what you needed, and you got going with movement 1 right away. It was awesome. Not only was I seeing more flexibility, but I was getting stronger and I was getting more stable. And that combination, that strength, stability, and flexibility was just really encouraging. So I came back for class day after day because it was fun and engaging, but even more so than that, it was really starting to impact my shoulder mobility in a positive way. So wall balls got easier, and thrusters got easier, and anything overhead, I was able to bring my hands in a little bit more in my overhead squat so I wasn't at the very ends of the bar. So I was really enjoying the process and even more so enjoying the results.
So I'm really excited that Amanda was able to share her story. I mean, that was awesome. She went from having pain, having restrictions, to now things like snatches and overhead squats are getting better, but even things like just traditional back squats, she has a more vertical torso. I mean, how cool is that? Just fixing the shoulders and the T-spine unlocks so much performance for you as an athlete. So whether you're an athlete or a coach or a competitor, you can see some incredible performance increases by following this system. So if you would like to see the same results that Trace, Amanda, and several other athletes have seen through our preliminary testing of Shoulder ROM Unlocked, if you think that you can do the same thing, just press play and follow along. Then I have an awesome announcement for you. In 24 to 48 hours, somewhere in that window, we will be opening the doors to Shoulder ROM Unlocked. So what that means is that we are letting a select group of athletes join this program and learn how to take their shoulder performance to the next level. So in the next email that you get from me, it's gonna say something like, the doors are open. In that email, it's gonna outline all of the details on how you can join this incredible program, but it's really, really important that you are ready and you join quickly, because the spots are open to a limited amount of people for a very limited time. And another thing I wanna say is that if you are able to get in, you'll have lifetime access. So instead of having some sort of monthly fee or yearly fee or anything like that, when you get in, you have lifetime access to all the bonuses, any changes, any tweaks we make. Gary and CJ are consistently making this program better. And the good news is that you have lifetime access. So again, I'll share all the details soon. Just be ready. And I am so excited to see you on the inside. So before you go, there's one last step and it's really important. I need you to leave a comment below. Number 1, how did the workout go? Were you able to follow along really easily as Gary walked you through this Shoulder ROM Unlocked system? How did it go? I wanna hear your feedback and I wanna hear how you're feeling. For me, I actually just did that and I felt really good afterwards. Those banded overhead squats really created that upright torso. It felt really good for me and I'd love to hear your feedback as well. And then number 2, I wanna know, are you willing and are you able to dedicate, let's say 4, maybe 5 days per week to go through a program like this? Is that something that you can do if it means unlocking your shoulder performance and taking your performance to the next level? If you would like that to happen and if you can dedicate the time, please leave a big yes down below in the comments, and I cannot wait to send you more information. So stay tuned, keep an eye on your inbox, make sure you leave those comments below, and I will talk to you soon.